Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Fish Tank on this brand new episode of Fish Tank.
Last year, January 16th, I was heartbroken. On top of that...
With a girl?
Yeah.
Should never be heartbroken with a girl. But God.
And we have like 1 million Gen Zs that need therapy. So AI must just come in and help out and, solve this problem.
What if AI misleads somebody and they commit suicide?
Well, from our study, we find that Gen Zs are people who don't want to talk about their problems with millennials or millennial therapists.
Because they're weak.
That's why they don't want to come to you.
But for most people, what they call depression, like a breakup, get fucking over it. That's what someone will tell you.
Gen Zs, he just told you Gen Zs are not wired that way.
Fuck Gen Zs. They gotta grow some pear down there and say, hey, not all your problems need therapy.
Parents are too busy, and most of these kids are always
so
lonely.
Teddy bear.
Yeah. So give them a teddy bear that has an AI therapist or an AI.
Fuck AI.
The teddy bears are not only for kids; they're also for ladies.
Go ahead.
Yeah, maybe I'm waiting.
Back to earth.
AI now uses that voice to talk back to you.
Come back, Jesus.
You don't, at no one point...
This is the worst idea.
Hi, my name is Caleb Jefune. I'm the CEO and founder of Therabot, an AI chatbot for mental health.
Someone was talking to us about the guys before.
Yeah.
The guys before him were talking about this.
Therabot.
Yeah. They did?
Is it operational?
Yeah, it's operational.
Okay,
Tell
tell
us
us
about
about your
it.
AI mental health chatbot.
Yeah. So I'll start with how it started. Last year, January 16th, I was heartbroken. On top of that...
With a girl?
Yeah.
Should never be heartbroken with a girl. But God.
On top of that rooftop, the idea came. So I went looking for therapy. And
Wow, she really broke your heart.
yeah, she really broke my
How long were you together for?
8 months.
Wool up, nigga. Wool up. Just wool up.
These kids.
I'm gonna say 8 years. Anyway, moving on. Sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine enough. Then in the presence of looking for therapy, it was expensive. At that time, I was a freelance software engineer. And I was still in school. So the times that were there for therapy sessions were from 7 to 9, 9 to 10. But these therapists, they have clients at the times that you're free. So let's say you're free from 7 to 9 in the night or 5 to 8 in the night. And that's the time that they also have their other clients. So you can't really find them at that time. And then during the day, you're also doing your stuff. So you have to wait, or you have to be rescheduled for another time. And so we said that, a better way must come. Because looking at the data, we have registered therapists, 2,500 registered therapists in Kenya. And we have 1 million Gen Zs that need therapy. So AI must just come in and help out and, solve this problem. So that's actually where the problem, that's where the solution came. Yes.
So how is AI helping mental health problems?
Good. So AI steps in when we don't have a therapist.
So the AI does the therapy?
Yeah.
That's dangerous. That's what everyone is avoiding in this world.
Yeah.
What if AI misleads somebody and they commit suicide?
Good. So we have our models. We have trained it with all the therapy data, and then we also have therapists on board that we have onboarded to make sure that the data that we are giving to our customers is data that is credible and cannot mislead them. And then we have blockers and things like that. So when a user thinks that the AI therapist is going overboard, they can alarm us on our chatbot, and we can bring a human therapist to like come and help them.
So I come back home and I find another man banging my girlfriend.
My lord.
Then I go to Therabot and tell Therabot, hey, nimegongewa. Help me. Is that it?
Yes.
And then he tell me, sorry, you should make more
here
money and to keep your girlfriend. What's the sequence of conversations?
Good. So let's say my story, heartbreak. So I go to Therabot and say, Therabot, I have been heartbroken by this lady.
And you put her name there.
Yeah, for Therabot.
Why did you break up?
Time. I was not
Time.
giving enough time for the relationship.
Forget it. You'll always be blamed for anything. Go ahead.
So I have been heartbroken by, let's say, for example, her. And so Therabot will ask you what happened. It will take you back to the steps of how was your relationship with them, or it tries to like look at back what happened.
So you narrate to the bot what led to your unfortunate breakup.
Yes.
Okay.
So when it already knows what led to that, it now gives advices on that, so that the next time you fall into a relationship, you don't go through that. And then since you're still in a heartbreak, it will help you go through it. It will give you like
I highly doubt that because I think a lot of people who go to therapy, number one is because they want to speak to a human.
Yeah.
There is that human touch. You feel like this person feels me, and it's not just about what is said, it's how that person says, the warmth and comfort they provide, so that you feel like, the same way if you lose somebody, right? And that's why if you lose your parent, if you lose your partner, whoever, there's always your cousin, sister, brother there to comfort you.
Yeah.
So half of therapy is that comfort, and then half of it is then the advice of what to do. And then I feel like technology cuts off that comfort bit. You're not just looking for, what should I do? Oh, go and drink, go and cycle, go take medication. I feel like that's just not it for therapy. Second, I think there's a massive liability to this. If your AI goes wrong, you can be sued to oblivion, and that's because it's even ChatGPT and all these AIs out there, they're not 100%, and they usually have a disclaimer.
Yeah.
Right. It just takes one wrong input to the data so that it gives a bad output. Medicine has been the area where people say machines, AI, whatever, computer should advise a healthcare professional, and that healthcare professional should give the care. It should not be a patient interacting with the machine and the machine giving the patient the diagnosis. There's a lot of things that can go wrong in there. So right off the bat, I'm not a fan of therapy AI.
I don't mind therapy AI if you're not in a really bad situation. If it's just like for a day-to-day check-in, this is how I'm feeling, this is my mood, I feel a bit low. But if you're going through like a very, say, depressive mood, or something has happened, like you've lost someone, or you just have a mental health condition, I do think I'm with Chris. I do prefer you just going to a health professional. Maybe a breakup, but it depends, like how intense and what impact the breakup had on you. But yeah, just like for day-to-day check-ins, make you happy, like you've had an argument, like, yeah, sure, talk to the robot or something.
Maybe he should call it breakup.com, and then it's called the breakup AI. Helps you to deal with breakup. But there's a comedy back in the BBC comedy where, like, when there's a breakup, a lady usually goes to a beauty shop to remind herself, I still look beautiful. Mm-hmm. Look at what he'll miss. And then a man goes to a strip club. It's like, I can have all the women in the world. And that's how they treat. Next day, everyone wakes up and like, I'm good to go.
Yeah.
But jokes aside, I think for breakups, well, it
But then
depends.
I actually also think, as you said, we're different generations. Like,
This is a therapy generation.
But so
yeah,
okay.
that they are quite depressed and sad.
You know,
At the end of the day, as you
From-
just said,
from-
they need.
from our study, we find that Gen Zs are people who don't want to talk about their problems with millennials or millennial therapists.
because they're weak.
That's why they don't want to come to you.
They never grew up being smacked. Like, get out of that fucking problem that you have, and you're told to man up and become, in Sopranos, where Tony Sopranos goes for therapy, is asking the therapist why they don't have the old school tough man, like that guy who just sits with his problems and just deals with his problems. And now you have to go and bitch to somebody else so that you can feel well about yourself. And maybe each generation dealt with their problems differently. And now perhaps there's need for more therapy. But if they need therapy, let them go see a therapist.
They can't afford it, and that's why his application is
I've
available.
seen, I'm in WhatsApp groups where I've seen therapists trying to make therapy cheaper. And there's actually a subscription where you pay can't remember the amount, but I think it was like 3,000 for not a month. I think it was for a period, maybe a quarter. And then it guarantees you 1 day a week with a therapist for 30 minutes. So therapists they know it's expensive. So they're trying to figure out how do you make it cheaper. Maybe it's not AI that makes it cheaper, because I still insist on that human touch.
So did you get through your breakup by speaking to, like, you built this thing, or did you use another AI? How did you navigate your breakup?
I built it, then talked to it.
Wow. So that was your healing.
Yeah,
How long
that
did
was
it take?
my healing. I've not yet healed, I guess. I'm still talking.
So you're not over your breakup yet?
Yeah, I'm not over my breakup.
How long ago was that?
Last year, January.
1 year.
Yeah, 1 year.
Okay.
So,
Good.
so inside Therabot, we have different modules. So we have group therapies, which is called Therameets. So Therameets is a platform where 4 to 5 people come to our platform. They're matched with an AI, and then they are given a location to go and meet up. Then with like a physical therapist.
Sounds dangerous.
No, hold on. You come together to this platform,
Yes.
and then the platform advises you that you guys need to be together.
No, AI. Okay, based on you first answer questions.
Let's see.
And
Personality
then say,
questions.
you guys belong to the same therapy group.
Yeah. You guys belong to the same therapy group.
I'm growing to hate AI.
Yeah, that sounds very sad.
You know,
'cause I
this
can't
is the thing
imagine-
your auntie, your uncle used to do. Like, you and your retarded cousins, I'll put you together. You go see your grandfather. Knock your heads off. We are more using technology to take away that social fabric that was built, that most of the times when even a girl was getting to puberty and, she's about to make mistakes and the mother cannot talk to her, there were aunts there. Or like a crazy person who they could put there. And then you had your uncles if you're a boy and you're about to make mistakes. So now we're saying, okay, life has changed from back in the day, but I would rather have something that strengthens that social fabric than something that replaces it.
So just to ask you, when these guys get together, is there a professional there as part of the group? Okay.
Yeah.
If there's a professional, then I think it's fine.
Yeah.
So you get a therapist as part of the group.
Yeah, so a therapist that also have works on that line of
So like if say we are all alcoholics,
you
it
get a
will
therapist
bridge
that
together, and then there's a therapist for.
yes.
That's fantastic. I like that.
I hate that.
I love it.
You see, when I feel depressed, I go cycling. It's there's someone who said there are 3 things you do if you're depressed: eat, sleep, or exercise. It's basic, and in 90% of the cases, it's work.
You're not depressed,
No.
Chris. Some
And then there's
clinical depression is
10%.
different.
Then I'm saying there's a 10% who need proper intervention.
Yeah.
Right? But for most people, what they call depression, like a breakup, get fucking over it. Like, that's what somebody will tell you. But now, because therapy is an option, so like everything you have, my boss talked too bad to me, I need a therapist. We're making people weaker. right? I say eat, sleep, exercise will deal with a lot of depressions. Then there's those critical cases which don't need therapy. Those are like, okay, this person now needs to.
But that's you, Chris. I don't think everyone can.
I think people need to be that way because that's the way.
But Gen Zs, he just told you Gen Zs are not wired that way.
Fuck Gen Zs. They gotta grow some pear down there and say, hey, not all your problems need therapy. Some of your problems just need someone to knock some sense in your head. That's what I'm saying. You had that uncle. When your father knows that you're becoming a problem and he can't deal with you, he sends you to that
So what are you trying to tell him? Are you trying to tell him not to build this up for the Gen Zs who are... These are Gen Zs struggling, who's told
like, if I come and say we are dealing with alcoholism, right? I think there's alcoholism as an escape. There's alcoholism where
as
now...
a disease.
As a
but
disease.
It's all the same. But
No. I think I've ever seen someone who, when they wake up in the morning, they're shaking until without a drink, they can't operate.
But it started as an escape route.
That's the person now that you have to figure out what do we do with this person, because otherwise, within a year, this person would be dead, right? And then there are people who, because therapy is available, I use it for, there's chance of misuse of therapy. That's what I'm saying. So are you enabling misuse of therapy?
I don't think there's a problem with misuse of therapy. To be quite honest.
So if we say...
It's like saying there's...
So we take everyone who has had a breakup and put them together and say like, hey, let's go talk to a relationship expert.
If that's what this generation wants to do...
That's what we want.
Laid and forget about whatever else had happened. Yes.
Anyway, you're saying, so there's that aspect of the groups.
Yeah.
I like it.
So another one is... which one? Another one is we're using IoT to bring in this AI therapists in teddy bears for kids who are in the hospitals that need someone to talk to, or we also put it in the pillows.
And where are their parents?
Same again, replacing actual human interaction.
Just a question. Where are their parents?
Same thing I was saying. You're replacing actual human with a teddy bear.
No, I'm just a genuine question. If you give the teddy bear, you put an IoT, where are their parents? Are they just too busy? Are they...
Yeah.
What's happening?
Their parents are too busy. And most of these kids are always
so give
lonely.
Them a teddy bear.
Yeah. So give them a teddy bear that has an AI therapist or an AI...
Fuck AI.
so that, they can talk to...
Okay, honestly, don't you think that's sad? I mean, I don't want you to use your...
Would you like to be raised by an AI?
And a teddy
or your
bear.
kids to be raised with an AI?
Okay, if I'm in a situation where...
Let's go back to principles of life.
Yeah, sure.
There's...
and also being an African as well. I think it's very important.
Way back, even in Europe, if you go like 500 years back. Yeah. And if you go to look at those people practice medicine fast, they say like, medicine is not supposed to something you take for a long time. Food or how you live is supposed to be your medicine, right? Then when you get to a critical phase where like your element becomes too much, then they give you something to help that kill that disease or fight that disease. But then you have to go back to that healthy living, that healthy exercise. So if you say you want to raise a child with AI, right? You can only use that, let's say the parents are in a coma and there's no family around and they're in that critical phase. Then it's like, okay, for this period that their parents are not available, we can administer this AI until the parents are awake for that. But you can't raise. It has to be an intervention for a critical case. That's why I go back to this case whereby I say therapy should only come in where there's a critical case. And they see you through that process. But if you don't have family, if you don't have relationships, to go back into the society, you can't be in therapy forever.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? It has to be an intervention for a period that you need it. Right? So bringing teddy bear with IoT with a child, that's bullshit. That's crap. That's introducing a problem where there's already a problem. Unless this kid is abandoned, this kid parents are dead,
they just absolutely have nobody.
They have nobody, or they need to go into a children's home, and they're looking like, for this period, we need to, before we transition this child to a place of care, this teddy bear can be a companion. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So you've said the groups, the teddy bear. What's a teddy bear called?
It's we don't have a name for it. It's just called Therabot.
So the teddy bear is also Therabot.
So the teddy bears are not only for kids, because
Now we are about to go to sex toys.
Okay, tell me.
I would like a woman bot to keep me company when I'm...
Okay,
The teddy bears are not only for kids; they're also for ladies.
Go ahead.
yeah, maybe I'm waiting for it.
So, so we have just like realized ladies use teddy bears a lot.
What do you mean by that?
When they want to cry, they hug their teddy bears.
Have you watched Black Mirror?
No.
Then you need to. Because this shit was right there on one of the top 10 worst things to do. A woman lost her husband and she was so attached to him. So they offered her a solution whereby this guy's memories and how he speak was put into an AI. And then the only thing she had to do was to buy a human-looking thing similar to her husband. And then every time she wakes up in the morning, she talks to the husband. They're like, how are you? I am well.
That is exactly what we. For like, so like we have the next module is we are bringing. Okay, we put it in a way that we are
this
bringing.
breakup. Why didn't you just write a song or a poem the way we used to do?
Who's this girl? What's this girl's name?
You went and did like wrote code and... Anyway.
We did this girl in the show here. We patched things up so you stop this madness that you're doing.
No, it was time. He's spending his time elsewhere, clearly. This is the girl, Therabot.
So,
Okay.
So another module is we found out that most of our users, the problem that they go through is they lost their loved ones or they lost their parents. And they have like voice notes or voice recordings for their parents or like their girlfriends or like their boyfriends.
Okay, no, let him continue,
Hold on.
please. No.
Stop.
Please continue. No, Chris, don't interrupt him. Continue.
So they come to our platform, they're able to upload that voice. And then AI, now when you talk to
Jesus, come
Therabot,
back to earth.
AI now uses that voice to like talk back to you.
Come back, Jesus.
You don't, at no one point...
This is the worst idea. Actually, I remember listening to a podcast on BBC about the same exact shit someone built, and it makes it worse.
Yeah.
It
Because you're not aligned. And do you work with a therapist?
Yeah.
Because there's a grieving process you need to go through.
Yeah.
Or you'll continuously end up in that loop.
I love something I read like a
So you
month
work
back.
like a therapist is okay with this idea of putting a voice note, so you always... I mean, I'm no therapist.
You need to be in jail so that such ideas don't propagate anymore.
No, he needs a girlfriend.
Yes, you need
Guys,
to.
if
you need-
anyone here...
Can you get this guy laid?
like, seriously.
Proper laid, nice.
You know, back in the day, you break up a guy after 8 months. 8
2 months.
There's so many features.
You find a nice voluptuous woman who puts a bat on your face and you forget about her. I don't like a lady and she's into you and you forget that shit. One thing that I read, which I was scribbling notes, they're talking about different things, but they say anything that's worth it must have a beginning and an end, right? And part of the thing we're discussing about this thing that about something has a beginning and end. Think about if your great was still alive. It says the reason why you venerate your ancestors is because they're gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything must have a beginning and an end.
Life is spiritual at the end of the day.
So you uploading voice notes, you're trying to prolong something, and the idea is that you have to let that thing end.
Yeah.
That's what makes life valuable. If Alexander the Great was still alive today, we would not have venerated him as being a great general because he'd be old, sketchy, and like, you know what? Hitler is still alive. He's better than this guy. Things have to end for life to have meaning.
Interesting.
That's why to talk to millennials more.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Gen Zs think about that technology will solve your problems? No. Technology solves some problems. But in everything, try to go back to the principles of life. How do people live? What makes life useful? What makes life valuable? Then figure out, can AI, bring value here? I wager AI can only solve 0.5% of the human problems that are there. Yeah. Just sitting down with your mother, your father, your grandfather, and just have a chat. Will you scrap this guy? Your grandmother will tell you, like, there's so many girls out here.
Kuna wengine.
Yeah, in fact, better ones.
Yeah, move
Me, your
on.
grandfather was not here. Your grandfather, like, could let her kichwa enda. Yeah, but we were brought up in this, it's if you look at how humans were raised, they say people who are raised with tough parents tend to be more emotionally stable. Yeah. If you're raised with parents who are more lenient, you get less emotionally stable. Then you need more therapy. So the idea is not for you to go to therapy, it's for you to toughen up. Because life will throw shit at you. Tomorrow it will not be a breakup. Tomorrow it will be you've lost the job you loved the most. It will be your parents have passed on. It would be you.
Now what happens if you get married, get a divorce? Like, what will you build?
Yeah,
So
Wow.
the idea is not to get more therapy, is to figure out to make someone resilience.
Yeah.
Take them through, like this Kenya school of
Resilience.
No, it's Kenya school. It's actually called character development, isn't it?
It's just life,
Maybe I'm mixing the names, but they have a course somewhere which is like you run through mud, you carry logs. That it's for building character
or something,
right? That's what the military they have that to first of all you make people tough.
Anyway, we don't want to lecture you because I feel
what is your fifth module?
Yeah. So there's the groups, there's the teddy bear, there's uploading voice notes.
And then we have also like built a platform where therapists can come and have their therapy sessions on our platform. We give
online therapy.
Yeah.
With somebody else.
Yeah. So they come with their users, and then now what we offer is that video teleconferencing.
You can just do it on
like,
Zoom.
No, I think sometimes there's some ethical, because I've had therapy on online, and then there's this privacy issues. They have
With
a
Zoom?
special,
So would they have privacy on his
No,
platform?
I think it is built it according to whatever.
according to what therapist, how they
Yeah,
want.
there's
What
that
is he building
compliance.
that Zoom, Google Meets doesn't have?
Ask him.
So actually what we have is a way in which therapists and their users can also like interact after that. We know we can do it away from like WhatsApp or like something like that. But then now the fact that now you can share your therapy notes with other therapists on the same platform.
Share therapy notes.
Okay,
That's
let's say
a
for
violation.
example, now let's say you must accept it as the user. So I have therapist A, I'm working with therapist A, but I don't like him.
Yeah.
So I need another therapist. So I'll just like transfer my notes to therapist B.
The world is coming to an end.
Okay, and so how long have you been in operation? What's your traction? Yeah.
Good. So we started on April last year. We started with the WhatsApp chatbot.
So 4 months after your breakup, you launched the new product.
Yes. So we started with our WhatsApp chatbot. And because it was free, we got a lot of traction. Till today, because it's still free, we have like close to like 1,800 users. Then now we brought in talk to therapy now, like voice.
So you put a voice note in the...
No. Voice notes just like launched just a few days ago.
The therapy is in speech form.
Yeah, speech format.
Got you. Mm-hmm.
So now speech format is what has, is now bringing us like, money to like also bring out all these ideas.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. Okay,
So
how
for-
many therapists do you have on the platform?
So currently we have 3 therapists on the
Three?
platform.
Okay. Is it hard to get the therapists on board? What do they think about the use of AI in their field?
So the ones that we have had conversations with that have refused to like get onboarded is they're afraid of AI, like, wiping them completely.
Replacing their jobs.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the therapists that others that are still existing still believe that they can still, overturn how Gen Z think.
The ones that exist.
Yeah. They still believe that, Gen Z still can come and go to them. But
Let's say the government came in and decided to subsidize, like, we've noticed there's a rise of mental health conditions.
Yes.
And they find a way to subsidize mental health and say everyone has to offer, say, 20 sessions a month or something, just subsidize it. Do you think that would have an impact? Because you say they're not going to therapists because they can't afford. Let's say it was made more affordable.
It won't, because we still have the number of registered therapists or like the therapists are still few. So even if you subsidize it, you'll still have a problem because we'll still have like a big number of users.
Okay.
So the government has to like again train more therapists.
And what type of therapy do you like focus on? Is it like on the therapists you have on board? What kind of therapy is it? Because there are different types of therapy.
Yeah. The major one is relationships. That is the biggest one.
Okay.
So
Gen Zs have a lot of relationship issues.
yeah,
Like love relationships, family relationships. What is it?
love and relationship, like love and family, both of them. But the most is love relationships. For family is, I was raised up in a family whereby my parents were just like away all the time, and I was not like having someone else to like, that human touch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you as Gen Zs talk to each other as friends? Like say when you broke up with your girlfriend, did you have ex-girlfriend? Sorry, did you have somewhere to go to talk to? Did you have friends to talk to?
Millennials meet at a bar.
The fear of getting judged.
That's why the alcoholics have a little.
Then you cast that lady, you drink.
Yeah, take this one.
Yes.
Anyway,
For Gen Zs, it's quite different because for me, the fear of getting judged was
okay.
was a
Oh
big
yeah,
thing.
I mean, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, let them judge. I guess that's where we're learning.
That's what I'm saying. They need to grow a pair. Need to.
So you have a fear of being judged.
Yes. So if I go to like my friend group and then I tell them that, guys, I got like a heartbreak, then the hard guys, they will say, "Oh, wake up, Bana."
Like
For me, I'll feel like, no, this is so bad. So I'll not like go and talk to them.
Unfortunately, life at some point just throws too much shit at you. You can dodge, you can escape a few of them, but at some point you just have to face them. Like there's no other way. That's what I'm saying. Toughening up is a better strategy than therapy.
Just back to your application and your business. So how many? You say you have 1,000. You had 1,800 on the WhatsApp chat.
Yeah.
But how many do you have now on Therabot?
So we have 49.
49.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Therabot is an app.
yeah, it's an app.
This is the AI.
Is
it an app or just?
It's our app website, all those.
Okay.
Yeah. So for the app itself, for like we have like 2 sessions. So you have 2 sessions and then like pay for we have student package, we have like companies package. So 49 and they pay like close to like 1,000 shillings per month.
A month.
Yeah. For like
4,000
every day,
shillings.
1,000 shillings.
That's not too bad.
That's close to like a entry-level therapist.
1,000 bob.
You can pay a therapist like 2,000 bob for maybe 2 or 3 sessions a month.
Okay.
So after you have like had, so let's say for example, you have like a physical therapist. So if you already have like a therapist with our AI, you can just like transfer the summary of, what you have been speaking with our AI to like your therapist so that they can, like go through it and like see how they can help you based on that history. Yeah.
Is Therabot a woman or a man?
So you get to choose. So we have like a couple of voices. We use
transgender voices.
We use 11 labs to give us all these voices.
Maybe one with LGBTQ plus.
Okay. So you choose the voice.
You choose the voice you want.
Okay.
Then now from there you have like,
what risks do you see? Do you see any risks like with therapy and AI?
Yes, a lot.
Okay.
At this stage, not all users still trust AI with their data.
Mm-hmm.
They just want to like come and just like say, hi, help me today. I have an exam. Give me like, motivation tips to like go. They just don't, they don't like really, really fully trust AI to like give, their data. So that is actually what is pulling us behind. That's the reason why we have like our chatbot free on WhatsApp so that like every other person can use to like get used to it.
You're training data for the AI. Where did you get it from?
So we scrap the internet.
Oh!
And
this is the same as just going to Google and searching how do I deal with depression.
Then what again?
I thought it came from like a certified.
No, again, what we other do is we go to all these therapy schools that teach therapy. We take their syllabus and everything we put in our chatbot, and then like
that's dangerous. This is the kind of thing that needs to be regulated.
Absolutely, I agree because I agree with Chris that there are so many risks when you combine like therapy, mental health with AI.
And I would say For example, how you handle a black person versus a white person, a man, a woman, someone who lived in urban area, a child. It's very different. I think those are the kind of things that a human can tell. That if I talk to this person in a strict voice, they're likely to back off. So scrapping from the internet, which will be 90% European, US
Yeah, that's true.
therapy, it might not fit a lot of demographics. I think so. Or too generic.
Okay. So, what are you hoping to get out of coming on the FishTank series? Just curious.
Okay, we want we're in a period where we're trying to let every other person know that we have an AI chatbot that like can help you to, go through your day or like help you through like
Your
therapy.
relationships.
Yeah.
We're looking for users.
Yeah, we're looking for users. And then like we are putting out like awareness that, it does not mean that if you don't have like enough money, you cannot afford therapy. Yeah. And actually we also like have 3 free therapists on board. So if you can't, if you really, really need therapy, but then you can't like afford, we match you with a physical therapist, but it depends with what time they're available. Yeah.
Okay.
Ah,
And it's mainly around relationships, just to be clear.
No, it's not. Okay, for now, no, that is the users that are, users that are using it right now. A lot of them from our data, a lot of them use it for like relationships, but others use it for like different things. They still ask for how to recipe to cook and things like that.
How to?
How to cook.
How to cook.
how to cook for my husband.
Okay, clear.
Yeah, I think to parting shot is, I think this is an area where AI should not be applied. Yeah, this is just my opinion.
I definitely, and I'm just speaking as a millennial, and I know you've not building it for us.
Yeah.
But I think I understand why there's a need for it, but of course I'm really wary about it. I think, as Chris said, it would be really important, especially with mental health, to go back to the basics, whether it's just connecting with friends and family, like talking to like a real life therapist, figuring out how to subsidize these fees. But if that all doesn't work, at least there's that option. I rather there's the Therabot than having nothing. So I like the idea. I do think it has potential. Definitely not this generation, or maybe there are millennials who would use it. But I think, just keep working on it. Be careful, be very mindful of all the risks that are involved. And just really wishing you luck.
Just to add, Japan, which is one of the countries in the world that has problems with mental health stemming from loneliness, things like that. Part of the solution to that is you can hire a girlfriend or a boyfriend or a companion. You just go to a website and you can say, I want someone who talks. I want someone who doesn't talk. I want someone and then there's someone who... So they've not created an AI to help those people. They're just trying to use technology. Like what they need is connection. Right? So it's going back to that connection bit.
But I mean, if you find it hard to get those connections, if you feel judged, I mean, there's always Therabot, which is better than nothing. So kudos to you. I hope you get through your breakup. If anyone is looking for a single guy, hit him up.
You need to hit a strip club first.
Visit trytherabot.com and find a free therapy. Thank you.
Yes, it.
Wow.